before I even start talking about this bastard. And here we go. The Iron Cyclone. 1050 health, 1050 stun. I think that probably 1100 probably would have been better as a health amount. That being said, it's the best in the game in terms of bulkiness. I think Birdie also is 1050 on both counts. Actually, Birdie might be normal stun. I can't believe I'm looking this up instead of talking about it. Birdie is normal stun. So Zangief is the hardiest character in the game in terms of if you hit him. But only barely. His walk speed is absolutely incredibly mediocre. His jump is a little bit slow. And I think he takes extra frames to jump compared to most characters, which is good and bad. And then, what else about it? He doesn't have any way to alter his jump arc. Not quite true. He can pause midair. I have actually seen people who are about to land on fireballs with an air 360 in order to not land on them. I can't believe I'm even saying that's an okay thing, but you could theoretically do it. The problem is air 360 has a lot of recovery on landing, so like, if Ryu saw you like with that to not land on a fireball, he could just make you land on a sweep instead. So, this is like a pretty good whatever. Anyway. His dash speed is pretty good. It used to be that he had a really garbage dash because they wanted to make his focus attack worse. But now his forward dash is pretty strong. Or it's not that it's good, it's a bad dash, but it's just that like the ability to rapidly close in, it's not particularly worse than the rest of the cast. And their ability to rapidly close in for Zangief is a huge deal. His throw range is theoretically really good, but because his push box is so big, you can't stand as close to him as you can for most characters. So even though he theoretically has like the biggest grab in the game in terms of range, in practice it's not even that fucking large. Which is kind of annoying. I feel like Zangief probably should have the biggest throw range in the game, but he does anyway, just off of his fucking SPDs. But kind of mediocre throw range, kind of mediocre walk speed, kind of mediocre jump arc. I mean it's like a normal jump arc, but just it's very vertical. There's not much to say about his movement that's good. But let's talk about his attacks. I think he was very interesting. Alright, crouch light kick is 4 frames plus 4, so you can combo a couple of them in a row. Plus 4 is a really big deal. Why is counter hit on? Because it means you can link stuff. Zangief does not have very much to link, but what he does have to link is really good. Ta-da. I would call that one of the best fucking super setups in the game. 2 crouch short link super. I've never actually seen a Zangief do that. Zangief's pretend that doesn't exist. But like that's like his best combo from a low until you get V-trigger into the mix, so remember that works. It's actually quite easy to react to as well. Just two low shorts and then fucking turn up a 720. I'm gonna be doing a lot of fucking 720s in this video, aren't I? God damn it. His crouch jab is kind of amazing. I would call it maybe the best tool he has, and the thing that's most distinctly not outclassed by any other character. This crouch jab goes really fucking far. That's right, fucking 3. It's like the only character in the entire game who can get a 3-hit light normal confirm. That being said, there's absolutely fucking nothing to confirm into. If you get 1 crouch jab, you can lick a stand short, and stand short combos into lariat, so that's like his go-to hit confirm. There's not much else you can do in terms of hit confirming. It's important to use stand short as your second one. Like if you just do 2 crouch jabs, the thing about stand short is that it pushes you in. It like moves your body forward. It's like a Kara. It like it's not a Kara, but like it if you cancel it, it moves you closer than if you cancel other options he has. So it's very important to have stand short be your like go-to for canceling for like hit confirms. But that's like his confirm. Yeah, you confirm 3 of those to super, I think. I don't know, that might be too far away. Fuck. I can't even get the super. What the fuck is wrong with me? I think you need two jabs to super. Because that's really far. I'm bad. Whatever. 2 jabs to super always works, but 2 shorts is better than 2 jabs. 2 shorts does worse damage, but the fact that they're both lows is really annoying. Also, the damage on Zangief's light normals is kind of good. Just the record. 30 for a low short is literally the only character in the game that's not 20, I'm pretty sure. And the jabs are also 30, and I think stand jab and stand short. No, only stand jab is 40. 40 is pretty good for a light normal. Anyway, stand short is like your go-to confirm into, but you don't normally use it as you use it as a tick a lot, but you don't normally use it as a combo starter. Although I think you can. No, it's like worse on block or on hit rather. Both. Stand short +2. Yeah. So stand jab is +5 and crouch jab are +5. So those are the two ones you would usually want to be doing, and crouch jab is +3 on block. So that's like the one you always want to be doing. Crouch jab is like the best light normally has. You can do 3 crouch jabs, which is really important for his V-trigger combos, and really important for catching people who are trying to hold up back. But usually you want to be cultivating the skill of crouch jab, stand short into lariat. I would say that's like his go-to confirm that you should be practicing. And sadly, that's like his only confirm that's meterless. So you better learn to do it. And what's even more annoying about it, let me show this off. If you've got a crouching opponent, even if you see the hits, it can like, that still worked. But like at ranges where it would work from afar, it suddenly doesn't work. You have to be absolutely point blank. That actually still didn't work. Sometimes Zangief has combos that like suddenly whiff on crouching opponents because of the way lariat hits, which is kind of unfortunate. But if you're point blank, low jab stand short into lariat should always work. So that's like your go-to hit confirm. Lariat is the only special move that Zangief can combo into. That will be a really important and consistent theme across this entire video. But that's like his line normals in a nutshell. Okay, stand jab is a really good anti-air, and that's actually a really important anti-air. So the thing about Zangief is that he's fucking basically a moving wall. Okay, Zangief's goal is to slowly. Zangief doesn't fight Ryu or like most characters very well, but once he corners you, he fights you like a fucking. He becomes like a top tier character. So Zangief's entire goal is to prevent the opponent's means of escape either through backdash or jump back, and like to prevent them from being able to counter poke his normals through like movement. Like he doesn't want people to be able to like fucking walk back, walk in, like sweep against like a stand fierce or something like that. He wants to be able to put them in ranges where they can't really effectively deal with his tools. The point is you want to corner the opponent, and let's take Ryu jumping. If Ryu jumps, like I have a bunch of anti-airs as Zangief for like various ranges that Ryu could jump from that are like actually pretty good. But the thing about crouch jab that really sells it, I did that a bit early, is that it works from close. It's like a close range anti-air. And most characters can't anti-air from this close. This is like a somewhat unique thing. Most characters need to jump to get an anti-air from a range like this. So there's this problem that Geef runs into. This is really important and critical to his character. There's this problem that Geef runs into where he can anti-air you with Crouch Fierce from like out here, but he can't represent any other threat from out here. And if you start moving in, if the opponent just holds up, then a lariat will hit them, but they'll get out of the corner, and a Crouch Fierce won't hit them at all. But if you do jab, it'll not only hit them, but it'll flip them back into the corner. So jab is a really important anti-air anyway, but it's especially a really important anti-air when the opponent's cornered because it keeps them in the corner. Otherwise, they'll just jump out for free. Okay, so that's like a super, super important tool that he has to be able to like keep the pressure going. The point is it's really, really tall and it's pretty fast at 5 frames, so like you can use it to hit right over your head. A lot of people talk about anti-air jabs in this game, but Zangief's anti-air jab is probably actually genuinely the best anti-air jab in the game. Not only because it's 100% consistent, but because it doesn't really need to be timed, unlike most anti-air jabs, which are kind of more consistent. Zangief's is so tall that you don't really need to be that precise with it. Another kind of big deal about it is that if the opponent, say, jumps out of a throw, you can jab on reaction. Whereas if you try and do Crouch Fierce, they might be able to hit you with a jump roundhouse before you Crouch Fierce can come out. Or if you like try to hit them with a lariat, they can maybe counter hit you. But stand jab, they can't counter hit. So like that on reaction to an opponent trying to jump out of an SBD. Oops, I actually got him. I wanted to like not get him. Fuck. Zangief, please work with me. That's like a go-to. Like if you want to be safe and you want to go for like a normal ass throw, and they happen, then you should jump it because they're expecting an SPD. Then jab is what you do there. Jab is your most consistent anti-air. But like jab is super important as an anti-air tool. It's okay as a tick. It's not bad. It's just that usually crouch jab is a better tick. Stand jab is kind of slow because it doesn't actually. It says 5 frames, but it takes like 6 or 7 to actually get the hitbox it's hitting right now. It's the high hitbox that hits on the 5th frame. Stand short. I didn't talk about this with stand short, but it's I'm going to be talking a lot about his light normals and not very much about his medium or heavy ones because his light ones are a lot more useful. This cancels and it goes really far. It's like basically the range of Ryu's crouch medium kick, give or take. So you can cancel it from really far away. Granted, most stuff won't combo from really far away. The only thing that really combos from this far out is a super, which fucking God help me if I can ever get that. And that is useful. You can go for like hit confirms like that. and then combo that into super, I will be lucky as fuck to even get that once. But that would combo. There you go, I got it. Oh, fuck spinning, dude. I'm bad at that shit. Super's the only thing that combos. Theoretically, if you were a god, if you were Snake Eyes, you could withstand short and empty cancel super. Okay? That theoretically would work. And if the opponent got hit by the stand short, they would get hit by the super. And if you did the stand short and it didn't hit, then nothing would happen. Because stand short, usually if stand short hits, super is guaranteed to hit. Depends. It might hit a poke or something like that. But like that would be theoretically really good. But like on paper, that's like humanly impossible. You need like the world's fastest fucking spinning. More practically, it's a nice little starter for his running bear grab. Was that Siberian Express? If you do stand short and you cancel into the light, or no, Siberian Express, then it doesn't give the opponent a whole lot of time to react. So it's a really good little reset for people who are like trying to hold down back against. I mean, there aren't that many people. The people who are trying to like escape the pressure by blocking their way out of repeated crouch jabs or something like that. You can kind of surprise them by doing a reset to a running bear, and it's faster than most people are expecting. That being said, it is reactable, and if they neutral jump it on reaction, they get a full jumping combo on you. So it's like really risky, but it is really fast. It's genuinely like you'll get people with that a lot. And it is kind of a mix-up with like just repeated light normals, just because it's so hard to react to. There's pretty much nothing else meaningful you can cancel into, because the only other thing you can cancel into is SPD, which is pretty much only for pretty much never ever good. The only time it could be good if they V reversed than light normal. Let's see here. That's pretty much all I have for these lights. There's like a lot of stuff that they do. I'll talk more about lights when I talk about his V-trigger. Steady medium punch is still a pretty good poke. You can use it for whiff punishing pretty well. It's not as good as it was in Street Fighter 4. The range has been nerfed a bit. So it's not like an amazing poke, but it does come out really fast. And I think it's got pretty good plus frames. I think you can super afterwards. And it combos. Yeah. That just comboed. So it's at least +2. It might be better than that. So you can use it like a super setup if you're like really good with your reactions. +3. 6 frame startup. So it's mostly just used as a whiff punishing tool. It doesn't cancel or anything like that, and you can't link anything out of it besides super. So I don't think there's that much to say about it. You can link into it from a couple things, mostly on counter hit, only on counter hit. If you get like any sort of counter hit attack, I shouldn't say any sort, but like several counter hit attacks, you can get like that link. It feels like a Street Fighter 4 combo. Crouch strong. This button is pretty good. This is his strongest cancel. So like for example, if you did well, I mean you wouldn't do necessarily this, but like you could go for something like that. If you wanted to maximize the damage here, this is a good example. This is actually a good example. If you want to maximize the damage you were going to do from like a punish into super, you would do towards fierce into low strong because it's pretty fast, and low strong is the strongest cancelable move you have. And then you would super from that. But good luck me. Okay, I got it. But that would be like max damage hit confirm / max damage punish. That would be like a very powerful hit. Anyway, that's occasionally used for like canceling stuff. And again, you can cancel this into like a running bear. It's a little bit worse. It's like you have to do it from closer would be more accurate in order to make it sneaky. But you have to. It's got more hit stun, which kind of hurts the ability to use it like a reset. So it's less useful as a tick than stand short is, but it does work. And it's +5, so you can like stand short afterwards. You wouldn't usually do that, but theoretically you could use it like a confirm. And again, you could combo super there. I think I already did it, so I'm not gonna show it again. I don't know. There's probably more to say about this. I think it can anti-air, but he's got like 3 better anti-airs, so you wouldn't really do anything like that. And you can use it as a counter poke, but it's kind of difficult, and you can't combo it to anything if using it as a counter poke. So. Maybe counter poke with his other normals, like that one. Same medium kick goes pretty far. It attacks some ranges where most other characters can't really do that much. But most characters have a poke better than this. So usually there's one tool that they can do that can counter poke this, and it's kind of slow. So I don't really have that much to say about it. It's not that good. But you can kind of poke with it. It goes further than most of his other normals do. I have almost nothing to say about crouch medium kick. I mean, same medium kick. Crouch medium kick moves him in a bit, so you can theoretically whiff it to kind of surprise the opponent, get in. the way you could in Street Fighter 4, but it's not as good in this game as it was in that game. It doesn't move as far. And it does cancel, which is useful for literally almost nothing. Theoretically, that's going to be like a mix-up with that into SVD. So theoretically, you could get some shenanigans with that. A low is strong on a character with a command grab. But that being said, that's like super risky, and that's the only cancel that's worth shit. I mean, you can do that too. You could use that like a reset. That's not too bad. But you wouldn't most of the time, I feel like. It cancels the super as well, if you want a super afterwards. But you can't link into it at all, so it's in general not that useful. It's kind of useful as a poke. You can kind of counter poke with it. Damage isn't too hot. It doesn't go very far. But, you know, it's less risky than a sweep in situations where you need a low poke to use. Stand Fierce is a really interesting move. You can just tap it, and it does a pretty good damage. Fucking long range attack. 100 damage pretty far away. I would call this probably Zangief's best poke, but the speed is kind of bad. Really bad. But there's a bit of shenanigans with it. It has a hit of armor. So if the opponent tries to hit you, like upper body wise, you'll absorb their hit, and then your Stand Fierce can punish their hit before they recover. So you can use it. I mean, theoretically, you could use it like an anti-air, like Hugo Stand Fierce in Street Fighter 4. But more practically, you can just use it as a counter poke tool. Like you get to a range where their good poke is working, and then you do Stand Fierce and absorb their poke, and then poke them back with your Stand Fierce. And you can charge it to delay it, and if it's fully charged, it does more damage and also knocks over, which is kind of cool. And it's also very important because it's a crush counter. And when you get a normal crush counter, you can do, if you're close, you can do like a walk-up SPD, and that combos. That's probably the best one, best follow-up. And I think you can also, if you're really close, you can get like a running bear. Yeah, that just comboed. I think if you're point blank, you can get a medium running bear. That's probably your go-to punishing punishing a hard uppercut. You can do a hard SPD as well. That's like max damage, meterless. But I feel like the running bear only does a smidge less damage and has a fuck ton of corner carry. So I feel like the medium running bear is usually my preferred option. If you're going to do either one, I feel like the running bear is usually better. But you do lose 36 damage, which is an appreciable amount. But Zangief really likes the corner, so you know. If you get it from really far, there's less you can do. In fact, oftentimes there's nothing you can do. You can get like a walk-up sweep, but it's really precise from max range. It's just impractical. I think from absolutely max range, Stand Fierce, like, literally you can't do anything. Anyway, there's like a little pivot there, right? And then he recovers. If you do a fully charged one, it actually, like, lasts a lot longer. It's a longer spin. And because it's a longer spin, you can actually do other stuff. You can actually dash up an SPD, and that's a combo, but only for a fully charged one. So if you felt yourself get the fully charged Stand Fierce and you see the crush counter, then you can always punish with dash up hard SPD. And that's pretty much the best follow-up. Again, you could do like a running bear if you wanted to, I guess, but running bear starts up slower, so you couldn't necessarily do it after a dash. But that's a really good skill for Zangief. And you can also do, I should mention this as well. This combos, his hard normals are like his only combos into V-trigger. That comboed. Or like, if you did if you got the crush counter and you did like another one into that. That'd be like ways that he can set up his V-trigger. So those are good. And being able to combo to V-trigger as your V-trigger starter is really important. I'll talk more about that eventually. But like I would say, like this, especially if you absorb a hit, you know that when you release Fierce Punch after absorbing that, you can like see, oh, this is gonna hit, because he's not gonna recover in time. You can use that as a V-trigger confirm and get some pretty good damage like that, and you know get into V-trigger wherein you can do other cool things. Let's see here. Crouch Fierce is an anti-air. It has very little purpose beyond being an anti-air. It's a pretty good anti-air. It's like high damage compared to stand jab, and it leaves the opponent standing. So like you can then immediately SPD them as they land or something like that. You can get a little mix-up going. You can't get a cross under unlike most characters. Zangief's movement is too shit. But it's just kind of good that you can walk in close and get a close mix-up. You can do something like that, for example. So that's pretty nice. It's a nice little tool there. Crouch Fierce. It's very consistent anti-air. That's like the right anti-air he wants to use at most ranges, but close jab is better up close. I don't have anything else to say about this normal. I feel like it might link into super, or like might link into super on counter hit or some bullshit like that. That didn't link. But you'd never use it like that, so it doesn't even fucking matter. Staring Roundhouse is it catches people trying to jump out of SPDs, and in that regard, it's very useful. But it doesn't hit crouching opponents, so every time you do it, and if the opponent's just down back, then they can react to you doing this button and then hit you for good damage. So it's kind of risky, but it completes your mix-up. Catches people who are trying to escape. It does pretty good damage. It's a decent anti-air, but your other anti-airs are usually better. It works from really far out, but like you're up close. These anti-airs work from really far out, but also work from close. But it does go really far, and it also sets up his V-trigger, so it's his only other way of landing a V-trigger, having it like combo. It's the only other way of like setting up his V-trigger. I don't think it works with like medium normals. Yeah, that didn't combo. That didn't combo. Yeah, you've got to use hard normals. So that's something you're going to be doing a lot, staying hard kick into V-trigger. His stand fierce left the opponent on the ground on crush counter. Stand roundhouse also crush counters, but it launches. The most common follow-up I see most Zangiefs do is just another hard kick, which is good. It's like super consistent. If you get a really far away connect, you can just do another one. It's very easy to react, and it does pretty good damage. But theoretically, if you're close, you can do an instant air SPD, and that is higher damage, and it looks cool too. I think it has to be EX. EX has like good startup. I think you can't combo into the non-EX ones. But you have to be really close to get that. And you need like an instant jump SPD, which are kind of hard to do. But that works. That is something that you can do, and that's important. I think you can also get Lariat too from absolutely point blank. Unless I'm quite mistaken. Yeah. Oh, and something that's kind of good about this that I should have talked about immediately is that although it's like usually outclassed as an anti-air, it's tall enough that it can get counter hits pretty easily, and if you get a counter hit with it, it's actually like, you know, a crush counter, and then you have juggles with anti-air, so you can do stuff like that, for example. That's like a really common one, struggle into the word spheres. Or you could do like a lariat there, also works. That's like a really common one. I wasn't close enough. You gotta be pretty close for the lariat. Towards fierce is the more general option. Those are like little things that you can do if you get that. It's like the most rewarding anti-air option. You can also get like instant air SPDs. So if you can do those, then I would say that's like his most damaging anti-air. But is it his best anti-air in terms of hitboxes? No, but it's still pretty good. So I would say that's like a good anti-air to use most of the time. But it is a crush counter. And if you do get the crush counter, it's very easy to get like a combo going and then get some pressure from that. You can get towards fierce on the ground too. Towards fierce slams, but it's not a hard knockdown or anything. The opponent would be able to anti-air that. You can't get anything except meaty pressure. Alright, let's see here. Sweep. Sweep is really good. It comes out pretty fast and it goes pretty far, and it's a low poke, and it does okay damage. It's pretty unsafe. It's like every other sweep. It's a good low poke, but quite unsafe. But sweeps are better on grapplers because opponents are more incentivized to try and jump out. Opponents are less incentivized to block low against grapplers, and thus things that blow up anything except block low become stronger. This is something Zangief kind of has to do occasionally to catch like backdashes and stuff like that. It is quite risky, but it is like, it has a good hitbox and it comes out pretty fast. And if it works, then you can get like a good pressure going. I don't think there's any way in particular to combo into it besides the jump in. And that's like, if you're not point blank, that's like your go-to combo from a jump in, just so we're clear. Because if you're point blank, you have to be point blank to get all of his other meaningful follow-ups. So like you can't just go for like that from far away. And there's no like equivalent combo. So you just gotta go sweep. Kapow. That's all his normals. Let's talk about command normals. He's got this thing. this thing is really neat and weird. So it's like a hop kick. The later it hits, the more frame advantage it is. Like it's like a slide in that regard. It's kind of hard to get it to hit that late without using a meaty setup. I think absolutely, if you get it like as meaty as possible, you can combo a crouch jab after it. Yeah, I just got it. And you can theoretically do some combos with that. Or not, maybe not with that, but like theoretically a max range one, you could get something going. Okay, I spend an hour trying to get this. I'm going to give up. The point is, with meaty setups, you could get something out of that. But more importantly, I think it genuinely does go over lows, but it also comes out really fast and like moves him closer to the opponent. And like leaves him close to the opponent. And it's safe. Catches people trying to jump out. If it doesn't catch them trying to jump out because they jump too soon, you can then jab them on reaction because you move it in a little bit and it recovers pretty fast. It kind of pokes lows pretty well. You can combo into it, and it is a nice reset, like in situations where you've got juggles. Very nice reset. What else does it do? Okay, if you get a counter hit with it, it's plus enough that you can combo stand short. So every single time you do towards medium kick, if you watch for that counter hit, you can react to it. And then you can do stand short into lariat on reaction. So it's like anytime you get that successful counter hit, you can turn it to a, like you can convert it to a full combo, which is kind of nice. I think you can link it to super as well, which is kind of cool. It either always links to super or links to super on counter hit at least. I got it there. I don't know. I like did it from a range. That wasn't it. There you go. It just naturally links into super. So that's pretty good. Super, I don't remember if it's 1 frame or 2. I've seen conflicting evidence that it's 1 frame and 2 frames, but regardless of whether it's 1 frame or 2, that frame or those frames happens before the freeze or during the freeze. So the opponent cannot jump out of it after the freeze. By the time you see the freeze, the game has already decided whether you've been thrown or not. So you can use it like a fucking, you can use it like a grab, like in the same way you could use like Zangief's Ultra 1 or Hugo's Ultra 1 or stuff like that. I think it's 2 frames because it seems to link from 2 frame plus 2 attacks, but not from plus 1 attacks. So like I'm pretty sure it's 2 frames. But I've seen people say it's 1 frame, but they could just be mistaken. V-frame says 1 and says startup 1, active 2. Does he have a plus 1 attack? Nothing that leaves him close. Crouch Fierce leaves him close. Crouch Fierce should link into super if super is 1 frame. God, the fucking timing on this. With buffering, it should be really easy to hit this fucking window. But god damn. This has got active frames for days. What the hell? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that works. That's theoretically a plus 1 attack. And that'd theoretically be in range for a super. Pretty sure it's 2. Anyway, towards medium kick is good as a approach. It's pretty safe. It gets counter hits rather easily. You can convert it into good damage on a counter hit. It's good as a reset. It is genuinely airborne. I just looked it up. Airborne frames 7 to 20, so you can go over lows with it theoretically. It's like one of Zangief's best normals, in my opinion. Towards Fierce. This is other grounded command normal. It does pretty good damage. It's plus a lot, so you can link stuff out of it. The main combos are stand short into lariat, which I just dropped, and crouch strong into super. You can't do crouch strong into lariat. It'd be nice, but you can't. It pushes out too much. You need the stand short because it moves you in, and also like it pushes out less as a normal. But if you want super, you can use either one into super. That works into super as well, but crouch strong does more damage. Ah, but I'm bad at that. I'm so bad at it. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. There you go. It takes good buffering, and I don't really have the good buffering. I like never really looked for a way to do it effectively. I just spin really fast. Let's see here. It's good as a tick because it's plus a lot on block. So it's after you land it, after you use it, if it hits, you can just react with a combo. But if it's blocked, you can then either like get normal pressure or you can go for an SPD. So it's like a good little mix-up tool. Like anything that's plus frames on a grappler is a good mix-up tool. I was actually too fast there. It's really stressful to be close to Zangief. You can even do 2 in a row if the opponent is like trying to jump out of a command grab or something like that. It'll, like anytime it hits an airborne opponent, it slams them to the ground, which is kind of good. Most people won't quick stand that. Most people won't have the wherewithal to do that. It can be used as a follow-up for like a lot of his crush counter stuff, as I already showed. What else about it? Is there anything else about it? Oh yeah, you can follow it. It's like his max damage starter because of the fact that it's a link. So it's like what you do after like a dizzy or something like that. That would be your go-to follow-up. What else? I don't think there's that much else to say. I mean, no, wait, there's one very important thing. How did I nearly forget this? This is like one of Zangief's most important tools. It sucks that it is. Alright, Ryu, chuck me one. What the fuck? One is also on. Hata! It destroys fireballs. You can do that on reaction even from very close. Maybe not very close, but like this close. Depends on the fireball. It's really important versus characters with slow fireballs like Nash or Guile. You literally can't win without this button. Against Ryu, it's not as useful because his fireballs are faster. But this is like his main way of dealing with fireballs, and it's actually like against... It's got such a big hitbox that you can, like, towards Fierce a fireball from far away, like a 2-hit fireball, like Gal's V-skill, you can actually towards Fierce it twice. Like, you can towards Fierce it, and then recover, and then towards Fierce it again before it hits you. So you can, like, just fully dispel it. That's kind of impractical. But if you towards Fierce a fireball from, like, up close, especially against, like, Chun-Li or Nash or someone like that, it leaves you kind of close to them. I mean, it doesn't leave you close to them, but you can just do it from close, and then you can then, like, throw them. Or like something like that. They won't necessarily be ready for you to like be next to them. And like Hugo's Clap, you can destroy fireballs and still hit the opponent. You have to do it kind of predictably, but it's not too bad to whiff. Especially like if you're doing it at a range where it could hit the opponent, like max range like this. Not too bad to just use because it is a good move to make the opponent block. Does a lot of white damage too. But like, this is like your fastest way of dealing with fireballs. Like, yeah, you can V-skill them and yeah, you can lariat them, but both of those are more committal than this. This is very non-committal. It's just very quick and just makes a fireball go away. You just don't have to worry about fireballs if you're using it like this. So it's really important against characters with slow fireballs, which Zangief struggles with if he's not using this. I mean, even if he is using this, but whatever. Air normals. Zangief is one of those characters who actually uses all of his air normals, so it's fucking worth it to learn all of them. Jump hard kick, I would say, is the most conventional one. Or jump fierce. Both of those are pretty good. Jump hard kick goes further in this game. So that's like his way of getting like really far jumps. Like if you jump away, if you jump into a fireball from like really far away, that would be like your go-to. Jump fierce is pretty much the same. It's a little bit easier to get your like towards fierce combos from a jump fierce. I feel like it like I don't know if it causes less pushback, but it feels like it does. It might just be the angle forces you to have good timings for it. Jump strong. Maybe don't use that one. That's like the most useless one. Jump medium kick is really long, so you can hit the opponent sooner than most other air normals can. And that's also important because, like, for a lot of characters, like let's say Karine, it can hit her before she's like willing to hit her anti-air normals. So that's kind of good. And it can hit people. Like if Ryu threw a fireball and he's recovering, and you're not sure, like if stand hard kick will hit him in time. Jump medium kick. Jump hard kick. Jump medium kick will probably hit him in time. So this goes really far. Unfortunately, your combo options are kind of limited off of it, but Zangief's options are always limited, so whatever. Jump jab goes really far down like that, and early air jab is actually a pretty good air normal. I don't know the exact context where it's really useful, but I know it's useful for similar reasons that jump medium kick is. I don't think you can instant overhead with it or anything, though. I think jump short can cross up, but Zangief already has the best cross up in the game. But the fact that he has a second cross up is actually really nice, because this one does a lot less block stun and hit stun. So it's a better tick if you're using like a jump and tick. That one's much more annoying to deal with than that. You've got to wait longer for that one. So you've got some surprise value with jump short into throw. You can also whiff it more easily, I guess. But like this is like a decent cross-up in its own right. But his final, oh yeah, that works. Even from a max height, jump short, I mean jump forward, that will combo. Same with jump jab, I think. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I'm trying to do it as early as humanly possible. I didn't even get a super. Didn't combo. Let's see. Body Splash is like the biggest cross-up in the game. Even if you're absolutely point blank to Ryu, you can still hit him like with a jump over. It's a fucking enormous hitbox. It also does really good damage, and it also leads to like all of his good options with good timing. So it's a very good like cross-up if you can land that. If you can, this begins so much fucking good pressure. Because you can do that and immediately reset to 360. You can do that into towards Fierce and reset to 360. You can do that into towards Fierce and then combo a stint short lariat. You can do that into like fucking, I don't know, a low and do something from there. Maybe like a reset. You can do it into fucking light normal resets. You can do it into light normals into combos. Towards Fierce into, oh, I didn't even mention that. Towards Fierce is the, no, it doesn't work. Never mind. I thought it did. Anyway, that's something you can do. It's a good cross-up. Just use it in the situations where you have cross-ups. Just the best cross-up in the game. So it's air normals. Alright, 4 special moves. Not a lot to say about any of them. It's going to go really fleeting from here on out. Screw Pile Driver. Let me get a sip of water. Water is the fucking nectar of the gods, dude. SPDs are slower in this game. Zangiefs are 5, which is tied for fastest throw in the game, sadly. I feel like they really should be like 4 or 3, but whatever. There's no invincibility on any of them. The EX one has throw invincibility, so if you know the opponent's going to throw you, then you can use that even if you're like, even if it's like a tick throw, even if it's like a command grab, you can just blow through it with your EX 360. So you can, like, Zangief does have some counterplay against throw mix-ups, which most characters don't have. But that's like, he doesn't have any counterplay against normal mix-ups, so it's not a huge deal. Excuse me. But SPD goes really far. Goes farther than like every other command grab in the game. And you can also grab normals with it. It might only be the EX that grabs normals, but it also could be all of them. I don't remember. But it goes really far. That was the light one. Medium one goes less far, and the hard one goes even less far than that. Unfortunately, it leaves you really far away from the opponent for the light one. The harder the version you pick, the closer it leaves you. You can always get a forward dash, but the opponent, if the opponent jumps out of that, you can maybe punish it with like a stand hard kick or something like that. But if they backdash there, it's really hard to catch the opponent backdashing. Maybe something like that into sweep would catch a backdash, but it's hard. Let me actually get Ryu quick standing and backdashing. Was that a reversal? I don't think it was. It says reversal even for a dash, I think. There you go. Did some fucking mashing there. This is difficult for Zangief to catch, honestly. Yeah, very difficult for Zangief to catch. I don't know if he can catch it at all from a light SPD. Very difficult. I like can't even think of anything that'll get that far that fast. No human way. So if you get light SPD, the opponent can always backdash unless they're cornered, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I really want to be wrong. If you get a harder version of command grab, like, let's say, a medium one or a hard one, it leaves you, I think, closer to the opponent. I think. It either leaves you closer to the opponent or gives you better Oki. Yeah, that was noticeably closer than hard. I mean, than light. So that is much harder to use a backdash to escape. So if you can help it, you really want to use medium or hard, like in place of light, if you're like in range. So hard has the least range, and light has the most, and hard has the most damage, and light has the least. But hard also has the best like Oki following. Light does 180 damage, very respectable. That's like already higher than Laura's command grab. Hard does, I think, 250. 240. Very respectable. It really hurts to eat one of those. That's like good enough that you do that as a punish in place of like that. Like his hard SPD is literally like his strongest punish. Like fuck links. Like hard SPD has the best, not the best Oki, but like good Oki and the most damage. So you might as well just do that. Of course, if you got a crush counter, you should do that. The crush counter into that. But usually just hard SPD is a very good like punish tool. But it's not always in range, so you make adjustments accordingly. Walk in, dash in, fucking use a lower version of SPD. Depends. Let's see here. EX leaves you really fucking close to the opponent. So you just like get like a fucking, you can literally jump in and you can catch a backdash like that. Like Ryu could anti that. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. But like, no backdash is gonna save you there. Your forward dash is still guaranteed, and then it's like a 50-50. So Zangief is next to you when he's angry. So like the best Oki by far is the X. So if you can land the X, then maybe it's worth it to use that just for the Oki. But apart from that, the X only does good damage, and it's throw immune. 300 stun is kind of notable. Don't forget about that 300 stun. Apparently in the beta he could combo to that from normals, but they took that away, and it's a damn shame because he could really use that. That's pretty much all I have to say about SPD. It's mostly just like that's the mix-up that Zangief is built around. I have a lot to say about it, but just it's hard to really talk about. Like Zangief's entire game is to get people low blocking so he can like throw them, or like to get in range so he can use that. Like that's his whole goal, is to land that move. It's unblockable and it goes really far. It's hard to get out of. Let's see here. Double lariat. There's no EX. There's no versions of it. It's literally just a lariat. It is fireball immune. It's very hard to use it to punish fireballs, albeit possible. You have to be kind of close, like that. So that is like one of his main fireball answers. It's not very good most of the time, but it can be really good depending on the range you're at and depending on how good your reactions are. It does have a little bit of upper body invincibility, so it is a good anti-air. You have to time it kind of particularly, but it is a good anti-air. There you go, I just did it. And it actually, in Street Fighter 4, like the back hits were like fake. It was really hard to hit with the back of this, but in this game it's very easy to hit with the back of this. So like it's better as an anti-cross-up than it used to be, which makes it kind of good against Vega and the like. Cross-ups in general. So it's better in that regard. It's like a better anti-air than it used to be. Unfortunately, it doesn't throw them back over your head, so again, you want like the jab to keep them on one side if you've got them in the corner. Because if they jump over and you lariat, they like fly in the opposite direction out of the corner. That time I got autocorrect. What else do I say about this move? It's a good anti-air, it's a good combo ender, or it's not even a good combo ender, but it's his only combo ender, so fucking you better learn to live with it. And it's his, it's like an anti-fireball tool that you can use. It's not very good as a counter poke in this game compared to like Street Fighter 2 or 4, where you could situationally use it as a counter poke. I have almost nothing to say about Lariat. It can be really picky at hitting coaching opponents. Short upper body invincibility from frame 1, projectile invincible. Siberian Express. So this move is kind of interesting. I pretty much talked about all its uses, but just to recap, it's really good as a punish because it has a lot of corner carry, and it also does respectable damage in its own right. The harder version you pick, the more damage you get, but the longer the startup is. And also the harder versions walk longer, so like a light one only goes like this far. But the hard one I think will go absolutely full screen. Not quite full screen, but I think longer than the light one anyway. Actually, they look super similar, so I don't know. I think just the hard one has more startup, but it does more damage. Not much to say beyond that. It's good as a punish because it has lots of corner carry. 2 of them literally just carry to be full screen. It's good after a crush counter because, again, it has lots of corner carry and it'll actually make it to the opponent fast enough. Thank God. It's good as a tick because it comes out really quickly. So you can get surprise resets on the opponent quite comfortably. Very difficult to react to. But it sucks because anytime the opponent sees Zangief put his hands above his head, they can neutral jump. There's absolutely nothing Zangief can do to prevent that. And if they neutral jump, then they can come down with a full jumping combo and punish Zangief for going for the running bear. So it's very risky every time you do it, but that's the name of the game, isn't it, with Zangief? But it is kind of good as a reset. It is kind of good as a combo option in crush counters, and it is kind of good as a punish. EX has a hit of armor on frame 3, so theoretically you can use it to go through. I didn't mention that about Stand Fierce. I can't believe I forgot about that. Stand Fierce has armor, but it doesn't have armor on the legs. So if you hit him with a low, it just penetrates Stand Fierce. Oh, I didn't show Stand Fierce can also be used to deal with fireballs to some degree. That's a jump. I wouldn't say it's good, but it works. You can't really efficiently hit Stand Fierce on reaction to the fireball is the problem. You have to be really far away for that to be viable. That would be okay. Be okay from that range and that range only. Anyway, EX Running Bear also has a hit of armor, so you can use it to go through fireballs to some degree. It's really too slow to do anything like that. More reasonably, you can use it to go through pokes. Like if you use poking with Stand Medium Kick and you just have a hard read, you can do this, and if he pokes with Stand Medium Kick, you'll armor it and then grab him. But it's a really aggressive read, but it does have armor. It doesn't have armor from the first frame, so you can use it to blow up some frame traps, but you can't use it as a true reversal option. Like here's a good example. Let's get Ryu to do like a frame trap. Maybe that wasn't a punish. With a lot of frame traps, it will be a punish. I can't tell if Ryu could have jumped out of that or not. But the point is, I resolve all 3 of my startup frames there. That fucking before I get the armor. So there I can use it as a reversal. But when I'm on the ground and Ryu's like hitting me on wake up, I can't resolve those 3 frames in time. Like if he does something like let's say this. That's the setup, right? Pretty sure. Shit. Just didn't quick stand. Fuck, that's not a fucking... Alright, I actually got the armor out in that time. I don't know if that's a true meaty. I might have mistimed it too. Let's just do like a true meaty. There you go, that's a true meaty. Yeah, see, I did my reversal, and it just got stuffed. Didn't get the armor in time. Didn't burn the bar anyway. You only burned the bar on the second frame, and I got hit in the first frame. That's all I have to say about Siberian Express. The X1's faster than all the others, for what it's worth, but it's more reactable by the fact that it's fucking giant and yellow, so it's not really useful to use it. Even though it is faster, like, the speed is negated by how ridiculously, like, recognizable it is. Borscht Dynamite, that's his only other special move. So this is pretty interesting. Air SPD. Jumping on reaction to the opponent jumping in and using it as an anti-air is completely unfeasible. So get that out of your head right now if that's what you thought it was for. Its main purpose is predicting that someone's going to try and jump out of an SPD and then jumping at the same time as them and grabbing them. So it's like, oh, like, you know, he's really afraid of the SPD here. So what he's going to do is he's going to... The only ways out of a meaty SPD are like jump up, jump back, fucking jump forward, backdash, or like medium uppercut. That's like literally everything Ryu has to get out of that. So if I'm predicting a fucking jump from Ryu, I can just like jump with him and SPD him, and that does really good damage. And theoretically it can catch backdashes too, but fucking goddammit, it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to do that. It's like impossible to do that. It like theoretically has... God, I can't even do these. Just want an instant air SPD. It's easier with the EX than normal. The EX can be done lower to the ground. God damn it. Can I get it once? There you go. I just grabbed the backdash. You'll never do that with the regular one. I mean, you might, but it's like it's not very easy. Alright, let me stop him from quick standing really fast, because that'll make it a lot easier to show off. I jumped really early. No one would ever backdash here, but there's just a proof of concept that all of them can grab backdashes. Backdashes are actually airborne. So that'll catch a jump. If you do the EX one, like an instant air EX one, that'll catch a jump and it'll catch a backdash. So that means the only thing that he can do that'll escape both a SPD and an instant air EX SPD is an uppercut, which means that's pretty much almost a true blue 50-50, and it is a true blue 50-50 on characters who have no uppercut. That being said, if you SPD and they jump, you eat a full combo. And if they block and you do an instant air EX SPD, you eat a full combo. So both of those options are horribly unsafe for Zangief, and also it's only available from insanely close, and Zangief usually doesn't get insanely close knockdowns. So not only is it it's nearly never available, but also it's like a huge risk to take. Makes it really fucking garbage. They took away pretty much every tool Zangief had in order to give him this mix-up, in order to give him fucking air SPD. And the idea is Ultra 2 versus grounded SPD is a really good mix-up in Street Fighter 4. But like it's only available when he has Ultra, so it's kind of like fair. But now he always has that mix-up. But now the mix-up like is much more unsafe, I feel. It's less rewarding, more accurately. Now what? Is there anything else about this? Okay, so if you're actually using it as an air-to-air, just for the record, fuck. Okay. That's not what let's do like this. Let's do jump forward. Yeah, that's good. If you're actually using it as an air-to-air, the EX1 has invincibility, and it can also grab limbs. So the EX1 is really, really good as an air-to-air. So like the EX1 is almost always the one you want. The light one has the most range, and the hard one does the most damage. It's literally like the grounded SPD. But they don't go as far as you'd want them to, and they're also pretty slow. 180. That was the light. The hard one goes way less distance. The fucking startup sucks. That's the worst thing about these is they're fucking... The startup of Ultra 2 was near instant, and also it was invincible. 220. It's like really hard to land that versus the light one, so I say the light one's better almost all the time. The X1 is like the best by far though, so you like pretty much always want to be using the X1. Oh, there's one very important other difference with the EX that makes it a huge fucking deal to use that one instead. There's a lot of grounded recovery. Like, let me hold up as soon as I hit the ground after doing an air SPD. That's the earliest I could jump. But the thing about the EX air SPD is that instead of stopping in midair like that, it actually like it just continues falling, and it has virtually no ground recovery. So that's me jumping immediately. So it's a lot less committal. It's like harder to react to the EX one. I mean, yeah, it's easy to react to it because it's an EX move, but like if you're not ready for a punish, you're not going to be able to punish that. Whereas these are really easy to punish even if you weren't expecting them at all. That's kind of a big deal. This is less committal. Doesn't seem like it would be a big difference, but I promise it's kind of a big difference. That's all I've got to say about his special moves. V skill. There's not too much to say about this. It's kind of good. It's actually a really good V skill. It's just very hard to use. He flexes, and when he flexes, he gets 2 hits of armor. So if you're fighting, it's literally like a parry. But the recovery, it's really easy to use because it's got the armor from the first frame, so you can use it like a true reversal. And the recovery is like almost non-existent. Like once you armor attacks, you recover really quickly. So you can really easily like armor through a poke. Like if I'm fighting a Ryu who's like trying to keep me out with stand roundhouse or stand forward or something like that, just any poke. Like low forward fireball. That's a good example, so we might as well use that example. Sure. Okay. Fuck, I didn't hold it. I still didn't hold it. Fuck. I'm bad. There. You can do stuff like that. If you get like a read on what the opponent's going to do, if you get an idea of like, if you're just walking in and out and fucking expecting, oh, Ryu's been using low forward fireball to push me out every single time. You can just fucking, you know that he's gonna do that, and you can just absorb it on, like, I did the flex there. It's hard to not do the flex because this is very slow. You can just get the read on him and fucking punish that. It's like good for a lot of stuff. It's like you don't need to react really. If you have a good prediction, you can use this to turn things around. Like I played Zangief against Bison not too long ago, and Bison was using a lot of scissor kicks on me when I didn't have super, like the hard kick and scissor kick especially. And I realized, like, you know, like when I was predicting a scissor kick, I could just armor it, and then it would suddenly become punishable. A good Bison probably won't use any scissor kicks against Zangief just purely because being minus and being next to Zangief is kind of bad. Probably use blast instead. But any 2-hit or 1-hit string or any poke, you can really easily just use V skill, and it's not very committal. And if you happen to get an absorb going, you can get a punish really easily. Except I'm really bad with my SPDs. Really bad with my SPDs. Okay, here's the balancing factors here. You take white damage when you're doing this, which is good because you get V-trigger meter, but it's terrible because you accumulate white damage really fucking fast. So if they do like something like if you did like fucking low forward EX Tatsu here, I take a lot of damage. Or like if you did low forward EX Fireball, let's say more accurately, I'd be able to absorb 2 of those hits, and then the third one would hit me, and I'd lose all the health from like fucking if the whole thing hit me. So like it's not like you can if you're using this a lot, you can just die very quickly because even when you're successful, even when you get the reads, you don't necessarily recover all the white health in time. I mean, SPD is apparently designed, from what I can tell, SPD is pretty much designed that, like, if you land SPD, you're going to be getting most of your white health back. Why can I not seem to get that? We can't see how fast it naturally recovers here because we're in training mode. Health is set to auto restore, and I don't want to change it. But it's inefficient sometimes. Like, sometimes you're just left with a lot of white health, and then you just eat in there and hit, and then it's like, oh, well, fucking there goes all my white health. You can just die really fast if you're using that too much. That being said, I've been talking about using it predictively, but you can actually use it to, you can use it on reaction to a lot of slow attacks. Like, let's say I'm fighting Kemi, and she likes EX dive kick. I mean, Kemi's shouldn't dive kick in this matchup, I feel. And that's the reason. Is because EX dive kick, it's really fast, but it's not so fast that you can't react to it, and you can just be skill and reaction, then you get an SPD punish. Or like a good example, Nash's moonsault. Anytime you see Nash do the startup of moonsault, you can just fucking V-skill it. And you can absorb the hits, and then you can get a punish going. Or like a fucking punish, or I don't know. I used to see Zangiefs do V-skill once, absorb the first 2 hits, and then V-skill again, and then SPD as their Nash punish for fucking EX moonsault. Or just V-skill into SPD against normal moonsault. But recently in a fucking match, Stupendous Zangief did fucking V-skill the first 2 hits and then air SPD. And it was cool. I was like, damn. I would say that's like you can use this to punish like a lot of fucking reactable attacks, provided they're not 3 or more hits. Like Kemi's V-trigger dive kick. That's kind of important. That's kind of useful. I think at a high level, fucking Zangief will be doing lots and lots of flexing. On paper, Zangief is an amazing character. Or not, Zangief's amazing, but just like on paper, that V skill has some of the most potential of any attacks in this game. And there's a little bit more to it. Like I've been talking about just using the V skill to absorb 2-hit attacks. But actually, if you can move forward when you're doing it, you can get a little bit of a fucking crab walk going. If you just tap it, there's no recovery. But if you hold it long enough, he'll do a little flex hit. And that's really great, but also kind of annoying, but also really great. So the idea is you can't hold it forever. But by the time you break it, he still has the armor until after that hit connects. So if he's absorbing like a multi-hit attack, that flex will hit the opponent out of the attack. Punk. So it's really good for that. Like it makes you a lot safer when doing this. There's like no chance that you're gonna that the opponent's just gonna be able to keep on attacking over and over and over until like they can exhaust all your hits of armor. I mean, there is a chance, but they have to do it really fast, or else your flex is gonna hit them. And that flex is kind of good. It's kind of a good little flex. It naturally links into super, which I just missed. But take my word for it. But take my word for it. But take my word for it. This shouldn't be that hard. There you go. It naturally links into super. I could think if we'll get that every time. You can just react to any time it works or any time it's going to work and super afterwards. If you happen to get a counter hit with it, which is fucking very impractical, but let's just say you do, you can then link a stand short, I think. No, crush jab. Stand short's too slow. And then from there you can get like if you're in V trigger, you could get like some nonsense. So that's kind of cool. Usually impractical. But the best follow-up is that you can actually flex and then V trigger. I meant counter hit, so it's kind of deceptive. But flex is actually one of your V trigger starters. And that combos. So that's pretty good. It's a pretty good little follow-up. And then one other thing, he's got this little walk forward he can do that slowly approaches. The approaching is not that useful. When you transition from back to forward, the walking, the fucking crab walk he's doing here, that still has 2 hits of armor, but you'll restore a hit of armor in this transition. So if you got hit twice, when you start walking forward, you'll have 1 hit of armor. And if you got hit once, when you start walking forward, you'll have 2 hits of armor. But if you just naturally start walking forward, you didn't get it all, you still have 2 hits of armor. But he will get closer to you. And if you're in V-trigger, I didn't mention that. If you flex and are walking, he has infinite armor. Like, he literally, like, you can hit him no matter fucking what. His armor will never break. That being said, he's throwable for, like, all of this. Fuck. So his reversal options are, like, between this is throwable, but it, like, can be done first frame, but it only has a few hits of armor. Or, EXSPD, which beats throws, but doesn't beat hits or anything like that. So he technically usually has a reversal option, but both of them are really unsafe, and they also both, like, they're both very committal, which means that his reversal options pretty much don't exist. What else? Is there anything else about the flex? Not really, right? Or the V skill in general. I didn't talk about super at all, but pretty much in the way of super, it's a 1-frame attack, so you can combo from stuff that you need, like, really fast attacks to combo from. Like a very high hit, like, air attack. I need to spin faster, holy fuck. What's going on? That doesn't count as a super. Anyway, it's really fast, so you can combo from stuff that, like, is only barely plus frames. Very common to do towards Fierce and Link Super. Fuck. Very common. Pew. You'll see stuff like that a lot, and then you'll see like links into it. Like I showed off that one, and you can do. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. You can do like that one into super, or that into super, or that into super, or that into super, or that into super. And there's one other super you can do, and let's start talking about his V skill. When you do V skill, there is V trigger. When you do V trigger, there's like this effect that it like pulls the opponent in when you activate it. That pull in is toxic. On hit, that pull in can be hit or blocked. That was a hit. Like, note the animation. And it can also be blocked. That was a block. When it's blocked, it's minus quite a lot. It's like minus like 7 or some shit. It's like minus a ton. It can actually be punished. On hit, it's like safe. And if it hits, then you've got this like fucking 50-50. It's a lot like Seth's pull-in, but it's not as good as Seth's pull-in. But it's a lot like it. Instead of Seth's pull-in, where it would be like unsafe if you did a really bad one, but safe if you did a good one and they blocked it, and a combo tool if you did a good one and it hit. For Zangief, it's like you could only have one combo option, which is if it hits into your absolutely fastest attack, which is super. Let me show this off. It didn't show, but that combos. Take my word for it. Most obvious that it combos if you do something like this. If you do something like this. I don't really know when this fucking animation ends, as you guys may have gleaned. Why are my supers this bad? I stop spinning as much when I hit the button, but like I always think the super is sooner than it is. There, that just comboed. So you can use the pull-in to extend a combo, for example, but that's like the most practical example. That's like the most common one. That's like the only example. That's what I'm trying to say. Now what else? That's something you can do. Is you can use it as a pull-in. You can use it as suction. So like something like, let's say this. You can use like I missed it, but that works. You can do jab, 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 and then pull in, and then super, and that's 3 jabs will just combo into a super. So I've got to talk about this. When you initially activate the V trigger, it's got a fuck ton of startup. So like if you do crouch jab into V trigger, it doesn't combo. It doesn't fucking combo for shit. But if you're already in V trigger, the startup is very short. It's like really fast. So if you do jab into V trigger, it combos. There you go. So you want to get into V trigger to have like lots of cool combos, but getting into V trigger is like, you know, kind of a science for Zangief. Theoretically, you can do neat stuff like once you're in V trigger, you can do neat stuff like that. You can do like cool combos, or more practically, you can do 3 jabs into V trigger, which I would say is one of the most broken combos in the game. In terms of like Zangief, how rewarding 3 jabs is and how rewarding SPD is, and the fact that it's like basically a true mix-up makes Zangief absolutely terrifying. So like V trigger, it's 3 bars, so it's really long, but once you're in it, like you can turn light normals into crazy damage because it combos from everything once you're in it. But you can't just use it like that. You've got to get into it first, and once you're into it, it's slowly wearing off. And also, you need a good way of getting into it. And let's talk about that. The pull-in is quite unsafe, but you can do this instead, and that's safe. But the problem is that uses up a lot of your V trigger. There's basically 3 different versions of V trigger. There's the one that's just the pull. That's that. Uses no V trigger bar at all. It uses a little bit if you're already in V trigger. A little bit, fucking like half of it. And then there's holding it a little bit. Uses like a chunk, but gets a tiny combo. And that's safe. Like even if they block it. It leaves them kind of far away, but you know, whatever. That's fine. Leaves them close enough that you can still like maybe get a mix-up going. And then there's the full one, which is also safe and uses your entire V trigger bar. But that one's notable because it sets up a juggle. It like launches them high enough that you can do stuff. Most typically, you'll do towards Fierce. I feel. Or most typically, you'll do fucking EX SPD. Alright, these are the follow-ups. Can I get a towards Fierce going at all? It's like a long walk-in. It's way longer than what I'm doing. Like that. That gets you a slam. That's pretty good. That's like a decent way to just close it out. The max damage you can get is actually a fully charged stand Fierce, which a lot of people don't even know combos. It's kind of precise to land. There you go. That was pretty good damage, and it looks cool too. That did 330. No, I didn't start with the correct starter. Or not the correct starter, but let's get a nice clean analysis of damage. That did 300 damage, give or take. That's your max damage ender with no bar. And you can also do towards medium kick for a grounded reset. A lot of walking forward there. That'll leave you point blank and at frame advantage, so that's pretty good. 243. And you can also do a jump body splash. Is it an instant jump body splash? There you go. That also leaves you close. Does a little bit more damage, but less frame advantage to play with. And also has a little smidge more corner carry. Sometimes people go for one, sometimes they go for the other. It really depends on the player, I guess. And then you can also do EX SPD, EXR SPD. I just missed it. You can just hold up forward and then on reaction to the jump, EX 360. It's not that hard. That does 360 damage, so that's like fucking 60 damage, 63 damage or whatever for 1 bar, which is a pretty good conversion. So I think it's usually worth blowing that bar. It's usually worth that extra damage. That being said, I just showed off just jump into 360, but what's technically more optimal is to do a forward dash and then an instant air EX 360. I'm really bad at that. It's nearly the same. It does the same damage and everything. It just has more corner carry. You get closer to the corner. There you go. Looks like that. That will leave you closer to the corner than fucking just jumping in. That little screening position is, you know, why not take it if there's no other differences? You can just learn to do forward dash and snare SPD at 100% of the time with a little bit of practice. I just haven't practiced. Um, that's pretty much every follow-up you do. Towards medium kick, jump on fierce, fully charged and fierce, towards fierce, and EXR SPD. And in terms of viability, in terms of usefulness, I would say it's EXR SPD, probably towards fierce, towards forward, body press, and fully charged fierce. A fully charged fierce is the most damage meter, so maybe that's the one you want. And it is a notable increase in damage. Anyway, those are the enders if you actually get this fully charged thing, and that's your goal when you're running Zangief V-Trigger. Your ultimate goal is to get that hit, that float hit. So if you ever get like 3 hits and you hit confirm like that, that's what you're trying to do. What else about this V-Trigger? Okay, so here's its actual intended purpose. It's a good answer to fireballs. It's a good answer to fireballs already, just in footsies. But if you're already in V-Trigger, it becomes a fucking amazing answer to fireballs. You can like grab people from fucking really far away. But if you're not already in V-Trigger, the startup is kind of bad, so it's hard to pull someone from like this far out. Like that'll never work. But if you are already in V-Trigger, it's like actually feasible to do that. Maybe not that far, I was fucking being really hopeful. Like that. That was a punish. So getting into V-Trigger really helps you against defensive characters. Because then you can suddenly get like huge combos on them. Like I played Guile against Zangief a lot. Zangief's V-Trigger like literally just beats the footsie elements of Guile's V-Trigger. He can just absorb, he can just pull in Guile in reaction to any V-Trigger or any fireball into V-Trigger. Like into Sonic Breaks rather. Zangief's V-Trigger like negates Guile's in footsies. Guile's is still useful in combos and shit, but just, you know. It's good against fireballs. It's really important against a lot of characters against fireballs. You gotta be pretty close if you're just gonna raw activate as a fireball punish. Like that. I could have comboed a super there, or I could have just used it to pull in and then get a mix-up, like a fucking SPD. Doesn't combo or anything. Or I could have used it as a pull-in and then gotten jabs into another pull-in. That's like a really common one. You don't necessarily want to go for the reset there, though. Oh. Oh yeah. There's a little bit of a movement element to it. You can kind of scoot slowly forward or slowly back. It's like almost not noticeable, but it's like good enough that you would be holding forward every time you do it. Like just hold forward when you're doing your V-Trigger. Usually moving it is not a huge deal. It looks like it would be an amazing ATR, but it's really picky. It's very picky. Sometimes it connects properly as an ATR, sometimes it doesn't. Usually it doesn't. I interrupted the playback. I mean, I'm not saying activate it raw as an ATR. Like, never do that. That would be suicidal. It's just not a good ATR like that. I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes it gets a hit. But more practically, if you get like a crush counter that launches the opponent, sometimes it gets a juggle and sometimes it doesn't. It's just kind of random. It depends on the range a lot. But it depends on other factors too. Like sometimes it'll get pieces of a juggle. Or like if you get like a mid-air connect crush counter, like something like this. Fuck, that's not mid-air, is it? Sometimes they'll get hit, sometimes they won't, sometimes they'll get hit once. There's just fucking no rhyme or reason to it. Just all depends on random angles. It's just got a very inconsistent hitbox. Think Jury Ultra 2 pre-buff. If you're point blank and you get a crush counter, it'll like always work. So that's like a reliable setup. I don't have that much else to say about V-Trigger. It's mostly used as a fireball pull-in and as a combo from lights. And then you can also use it as a like mix-up setup tool to some degree. Oh, it has fireball immunity all the time you're holding it, but also as soon as you stop holding it, you become vulnerable to fireballs. So as long as there's a fireball in your body, do not let go of it. Like if you just want the little pull-in, but like there's a Hadoken inside you because fucking you're getting the little pull-in off of Hadoken, don't release. You don't have a little pull-in available. You've got to do the medium one, and you've got to get some of the hits. Even if you get the medium one, you've still got time to get the full one. if you're fast. Emphasis on if you're fast. It's not impossible to get both. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. I don't think it's impossible. Whatever. Anyway, is that all I have to say about Zangief? Bread and butter combos are short as fuck. Low jab, stand short, lariat. Or like jab, stand short, lariat, I guess, if you want to do that, but why would you? Low short, super. Low jab, super. Fucking low jab, stand short, super. Any of those. Towards fierce, stand short, lariat, which I just dropped. Towards fierce, low strong, super. Crush counter, stand hard kick into stand hard kick. Crush counter, stand fierce into hardest speed if you're close, or like light Siberian. No, yeah, Siberian Express if you're far. What else? What are some B&Bs for this character? I'm like running out already. He has like almost no combos. He's mostly just a footsie character. Stand hard kick into V trigger, stand fierce into V trigger, little flex into V skill, I mean into super, towards medium kick on counter hit into stand short into lariat. There's like not that many combos. Stand strong on counter hit, combos into stand short into lariat. I never mentioned that when I was talking about it, but it works. You'll never get that probably. That's like not something that's very easy to land in a match. You got a point blank close strong that counter hits. Good luck. Running out of shit to talk about. There's one other thing I kind of want to mention. His V reverse does not knock down. What was this again? So it's a really good tick. He's +3 on that, and he's point blank, and he's just inflicted some white damage on you. Stop that, Ryu. So if you're gonna V-reverse, it kind of sucks because it doesn't knock down, but also like it's a guaranteed mix-up. Most V-reverses get the pressure off, but don't give you they try to dodge giving you a mix-up. Zangief's V-reversal just straight up just gives you a mix-up, but it doesn't get you out of pressure necessarily. It doesn't guarantee you out of the corner or anything like that. It doesn't guarantee that you're not gonna get stunned. So things could go very awry for you. Right now, almost no one fucking reacts to it. So right now, I would say that into SPD is like borderline free, but eventually people are going to wisen up to that. But just for the record, it does not knock down. Light SPD, I guess. Yeah, medium and harder too far away. Zangief's V-trigger is so good that it's almost criminal to use V-reverses though. But also Zangief's options against pressure are not that good. Honestly, he has like no real reversal. Except super, which is bad. Because it relies on the opponent being next to you and grounded. I think I'm done with Zangief. I don't think there's anything more to say here. Yeah. Why am I so bad? I feel like I didn't really talk about this, but crouch jab goes really fucking far and counter pokes everything. I feel like that's like literally the most important thing about Zangief, and I like glossed over it. This is literally like the best counter poke in the entire game. Alright, now I'm done.